Hi, how are you doing, guys? I hope all is well. It's me again, Melers M. De Los Rios, a third year BLIS student. We are heading now to our next topic, the Chapter 3 of Basic Research Methods for Librarians, entitled Selecting the Research Method. As was noted in the Chapter 1, there is a distinction to be made between basic and applied research, but for today's lesson, we are focusing on applied research. Applied research tends to be more pragmatic and emphasizes providing information that is immediately usable in the resolution of actual problems, which may or may not have application beyond the immediate study. Applied research, on the other hand, can validate theories and lead to the revision of theories. It takes the theory and concepts from basic research and by formal methods of inquiry, investigates real-world phenomena. There are three types of applied research. First is the action research. Second is the evidence-based research. And lastly is the evaluative research. A major type of applied research, and one sometimes treated interchangeably with applied research, is the action research. According to Wilson, action research in the original sense is participative organizational research focused on problem definition and resolution, which involves an external researcher who works with organizational members to arrive at workable solutions to their problems within the framework of some theoretical perspective. They characterize action research as practical, orderly, flexible and adaptable, and empirical to a degree but weak in internal and external validity. Isaac and Michael identified the following basic steps in action research. First, defining the problem or setting the goal. Second, reviewing the literature. Third, formulating testable hypotheses. Fourth, arranging the research setting. Fifth, establishing measurement techniques and evaluation criteria. Lastly, analyzing the data and evaluating the results. Evidence-based research reflects both the efforts of practitioners who consume the results of research in making those decisions and the efforts of applied researchers who strive to produce the research evidence intended for use by practitioners. Evidence-based research has been addressed by professional organizations, practitioners, and researchers. Evaluative or evaluation research, as a type of applied research, has as its primary goal not the discovery of knowledge, but rather a testing of application of knowledge within a specific program or project. Thus, it is usually practical or utilitarian in nature, and it is generally less useful than basic research for developing theoretical generalizations. They are usually limited in terms of time and space, and if the evaluative researcher has a vested interest in the project being evaluated, he or she is highly susceptible to bias. There are two types of evaluative research. These are summative evaluation and formative evaluation. In summative or outcome research is concerned with the effects of a program. It tends to be quantitative in nature and often is used as the basis for deciding whether a program will be continued, while the formative or process, or also known as evaluation, which is done during a program, not following its completion, examines how well the program is working. It is often more qualitative and frequently is used for revising and improving programs. Qualitative research. Qualitative research is appropriate where quantifiable measures of variables of interest are possible, where hypotheses can be formulated and tested, and inferences drawn from samples to populations. Qualitative methods, on the other hand, are appropriate when the phenomena under study are complex, are social in nature, and do not lend themselves to quantification. Qualitative research tends to apply a more holistic and natural approach to the resolution of a problem than does quantitative research. It also tends to give more attention to the subjective aspects of human experience and behavior. Small samples are often acceptable in qualitative studies. Qualitative researchers have used a variety of methods and techniques, many drawn from anthropology and sociology. They have ranged from ones traditionally used in quantitative research, such as observation and the interview, to less common ones, such as mechanical recording and photography. Qualitative methods can be especially useful in explanatory research. Survey research has been defined as a research strategy where one collects data from all or part of a population to assess the relative incidence, distribution, and interrelations of naturally occurring variables. This methodology, which is most commonly used in descriptive studies. In experimental research, the researcher manipulates at least one independent variable, controls over other relevant variables, and observe the effect on one or more dependent variables. This method is considered to be the best method for testing causal relationships. Isaac and Michael describe the purpose of historical research as one of reconstructing the past systematically and objectively by collecting, evaluating, verifying, and synthesizing evidence to establish the facts and reach defensible conclusion, often in relation to particular hypotheses. Operations research is the application of scientific method to management operations in an effort to aid managerial decision-making. It is used to identify optimal solutions to real problems, utilizing analytical mathematical techniques. Some general types of operations research are resource allocation, sequencing, inventory, replacement, queuing theory, and competitive strategies. According to O'Neill, the standard approach to applying operations research includes the following steps. First, formulating the problem. Second, constructing a mathematical model to represent the system under study. Next, deriving a solution from the model. Next, testing the model and the solution derived from it. Next, establishing controls over the solution. Next, putting the solution to work implementation. Modeling, which is sometimes used synonymously with simulation, is at the heart of the operations research methodology. A model is an abstraction, a mental framework for analysis of a system. Modeling involves the use of simplified representation of real-world phenomena. Modeling is typically used to determine the performance of a real system by observing the behavior of a representational or analogous system. Modeling can also be part of the process used in the development of a theory. It is similar in concept to operation research but tends to place a greater emphasis on the total system and how the various components of the system interacts. System analysis often utilizes operation research type techniques and typically takes into consideration the objectives and performance, the environment, the resources, the components, and the management of the entire system. The case study is a specific field or qualitative research method and thus is an investigation of phenomena as they occur without any significant intervention of the investigators. Yan defines a case study as an empirical inquiry that, first, investigate a contemporary phenomenon within its real-life context, especially when the boundaries between phenomenon and context are not clearly evident, and which there will be many more variables of interest than data points, and as one result, relies on multiple sources of evidence with data needing to converge in a triangulating fashion, and as another result, benefits from the prior development of the theoretical propositions to guide data collection and analysis. The case study is often useful as an explanatory technique and can be used for investigating organizational structure. In contrast to most survey research, case study involve intensive analysis of a small number of subjects rather than gathering data from a large sample or population. The Delphi study or technique is a procedure using sequential questionnaires by which the opinions of experts can be brought to bear on issues that are essentially non-factual. This form of data gathering is effective when policy-level decision-making is necessary. The ALA Glossary of Library and Information Science defines content analysis as analysis of the manifest and the latent content of a body of communicated material through a classification, tabulation, and evaluation of its key symbols and themes in order to ascertain its meaning and probable effect. Content analysis is essentially a systematic analysis of the occurrence of words, phrases, concepts, and so on, in books, films, and other kinds of materials. Bibliometrics is a special type of documentary research or inquiry into the tools of library and information science. It has been defined as the application of mathematics and statistical methods to books and other media of communication. It also has been referred to as a series of techniques that seeks to quantify the process of written communication and as the quantification of bibliographical data. Related terms are scientometrics, informametrics, and librometrics. Task-based research is research that focuses on the scrutiny of specific tasks. Task-based research has been designed to utilize multiple research methods within the linguistics, teaching and learning, and human-computer interface communities. It also plays an important role in functional software in system and user interface design. Interestingly, there is a long-standing debate over whether comparative librarianship is a research method or a subject matter. Let's discuss. As a subject matter, it deals with the phenomena and librarianship that can be compared. As a research method, it provides the framework for conducting an appropriate comparative analysis, a definition that nicely incorporates all these aspects found in the Encyclopedia of Library and Information Science. It is commonly stressed in defining the term that comparative librarianship involves two or more national, cultural, or societal environments. The study includes the comparable comparisons, and it induces philosophical or theoretical concepts of librarianship. Ethics of research provides guidelines for the responsible conduct of research. In addition, it educates and monitors researchers conducting research to ensure a high ethical standards. When we conducting research that involves humans, we need to remember to refer them as participants, not as subjects. We need to have an underlying respect for them as human beings, respect their welfare, respect their beliefs, their customs, their privacy, confidentiality, and their cultural sensitivities. As Kretwal stated, ethical standards are in effect a constraint on research and they can be divided into two aspects: the legal institutional constraints designed to protect the people from whom data are gathered, and responsibility of the individual researcher for proper conduct above and beyond legalities. In codes of ethics for research, scientific research misconduct can and does still occur. In fact, the Commission on Research Integrity, which was created as part of the National Institutes of Health Revitalization Act of 1993, proposed new procedures for addressing scientific misconduct. Because beyond the high-profile cases, widespread problems in the conduct of research remain. The lay public presumes that professions are self-regulating. However, the effectiveness of self-regulation in the academic profession is currently being challenged. There is at least a perception that research misconduct in library and information science is less of a problem than it is in other fields, principally because the stakes are not terribly high in LIS as compared with fields such as biology, physics, medicine, and the like. Or as widely stated, there is less of it done in other fields that have greater funding or greater prestige. The greater the stakes, the more incentive there is to cheat. That's all for today. Thank you so much and God bless us all.